Yes, guys. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. How is everybody? I hope you're all doing really well. This is Monday afternoon, guys. Premier League review, looking back at a whole weekend of football. And yeah, guys, hope you're doing good. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button underneath the video. And please hit the like button, guys. That thumb up underneath the video right now is the like button. Make sure you go and smash the hell out of that as well. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well on this Monday afternoon. It's a beautiful day. Apparently, we've got another heat wave on the way. So, all good, guys. Another heat wave on the way. Can't beat it. So, guys, hope you're all doing well. So, I know a lot of people have been waiting for my views on Liverpool's game against Fulham. All the talk, all the slander, all the Henderson BS. Right, we're going to put rights to wrongs today because I am going to break this down. I am going to break down all this Liverpool stuff, Jurgen Klopp, Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I'm going to break it down, guys. I'm going to break it down what I think we could do, what we should do, who we should go and buy, and having a certain problem about a certain player in our club that no one ever mentions. There's a player that plays in our midfield that no one ever mentions that is becoming a bit of a problem. Am I the only one who mentions it? Savage has mentioned it before. I think LFC Saint, big up Saint on LFC Saint TV. Big up yourself, my friend. He mentioned it in his review yesterday, I do believe. Big up, my friend. I put it on Twitter as well, so people might already know what I'm on about. We need to talk about it. Not enough people talk about it because I don't think people watch a whole game, or they just eyeball a certain player in our team that all the hate must go on. But we do have a problem in this midfield, and it's not just Jordan Henderson. Big up Pablo in the chat. Thank God Jamie's going live after waking up today and looking through a Twitter. A Jamie show is needed. Some of our fans on Twitter. Big up Pablo. What happened, mate? Big up Don Van Dyke. Big up Gary. Hope you're doing well. Hello, chat. Big up what's been said on Twitter, Pablo. I don't go near it. Big up Gary. Go and bed, my man. Can't Jamie. Can't be late. I forgive you, Dan. Again, bro. I was on Savage's channel. That's why I'm a bit late. Afternoon, according to Gold journalist Neil Jones, Thiago examined on Sunday. Find out more extent the injury. Yeah, apparently it's only a couple of weeks, ain't it? Liverpool hope to uncover the injury early, so it's only a matter of a week. Couple of weeks instead of 4 weeks. That's good news. Then that's good news. Liverpool, by the way, are the team in the Premier League with most injuries. Yeah, we've got 10 at the moment. Big up John. Big up Daz. Big up Ant. Big up Edward. Big up Kev. How you doing, my friend? Romano saying we could be in for a midfielder. Yeah, we'll go look at it. Yannick, how you doing? Liverpool need at least 2 midfielders ASP. Big up Pablo. Yeah, he just waffled. Yeah, he just waffles, bro. Is that about thingy, ain't it? Still can't believe some people that own Newcastle and own Chelsea. I know it's mad. Yeah, maybe Gunbear, maybe. I've been saying it for a good month now. Big up to you, mate. He knows what I'm on about as well. Haaland is an effing monster. Big up, Pac-Man. How you doing, mate? Yeah, so we're going to have to talk about it, guys, and we're going to have to take a bit of a look at this Liverpool-Fulham game. We will look at the rest of the Premier League games, don't worry. But I'm going to take a little bit of time talking about Liverpool-Fulham. Now, I believe, in my personal opinion, Liverpool were extremely arrogant against Fulham. I think we was extremely arrogant against Fulham. Thought we could turn up there and just get the job done, get the win, and move on. That is not the case in the Premier League. We got outclassed at foot. Well, they get outclassed. If you look at the stats, Liverpool had more possession, more passes, more touches, more shots on target. But what Fulham had was more heart and more intensity and more hunger to their game. If we matched Fulham for that, we would have won that game simple, but we didn't match them for it. We stood off them. They paid us no respect and went for the throat. Big up Fulham. Fulham should have won that game. Let's get it out of the system now, guys. Let's get it out of the system now. Fulham should have won that game and won easily as well. Liverpool were too arrogant. And I hope they learned their lesson going through the whole season. Now, coming out of that game, obviously there was a lot of attention on a certain Jordan Henderson. You have to go on Twitter and have a look. Now, in my post match that evening, I said, me and Savage are on, and I did say Henderson had a terrible game. There's no covering it up. Henderson had a terrible game. But was he our worst midfielder on Saturday afternoon? Well, the answer to that is no, he wasn't. He wasn't our worst midfielder. Flacco, Fabinho was terrible. Was our worst midfielder by a long shot. And by the way, Jurgen Klopp thought exactly the same thing. That's why he pulled him off. Fabinho was dog awful. Absolutely awful. We got a Fabinho problem. I've been saying it for a long time as well, by the way. This ain't just reactionary. If you go back to my videos last season, you'd see me talking about Fabinho last season. Now, this ain't got anything to do with Fabinho's technical ability as a footballer. I am not knocking his technical ability as a footballer. Not at all. He's never going to lose that. You know, he can be 50 years old and he still have that technical ability as a footballer. What he doesn't have anymore is mobility. And it's a fact. And I think people, when they talk about our midfield, and they always bring up, Thiago's injuries and Henderson is just a dead player now, a dead baller, shouldn't play anymore. No one ever brings up Fabinho, like ever. No one ever brings up his name. Go back and watch Fabinho last season as well. Just go back and watch the games properly, especially in the big matches. Go back and have a look. Yeah, Fabinho got 7 goals last season. That's all great. I don't care. His mobility is an issue. He gets outrun consistently. I watched Mitrovic run right through our midfield into the defence. And Fabinho's a defensive midfielder. Now, what people would tell me is, Jamie, that's because Fabinho's left on his own. He's the last line of defence all the time. The other midfielders don't help him out. My answer to that is quite simple. He's a defensive midfielder. It's his job. His job on the pitch is that. He is meant to be the last line. He's a defensive midfielder. He's not a number 8 or a number 10. That's his job. And at the moment, he can't do it because of his mobility. He's not getting to the balls quick enough to make the tackles. And when people run past him, you don't even have to run. You can jog past Fabinho at the moment. You can literally jog past him. Now, this is not me slagging off Fabinho as a technical footballer. Technically, Fabinho is quality. His mobility is an issue. When a 37-year-old James Milner comes on for Fabinho and is more mobile than Fabinho, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. James Milner is 37 years of age and he is more mobile and more athletic than Fabinho is, and Fabinho is our number 1 defensive midfielder. That is an issue. That is a problem. It's an issue. It literally is an issue. His mobility is a problem. Go back in these games. His mobility is a problem. This is why we wanted Tchouaméni. This is why Liverpool were after Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni wasn't a Hendo replacement. It wasn't a Thiago replacement. Tchouaméni was a Fabinho replacement. Jurgen Klopp knows there's a mobility problem with Fabinho. He ain't stupid. Jurgen Klopp knows. The problem is we ain't really got anyone there who can do the Fabinho role, so Fabinho has to continue playing. That is just the way it is. That is just the way it is. But Tchouaméni, that's why we was looking at Tchouaméni seriously. The only reason we didn't go for Tchouaméni in the end is because Tchouaméni wanted to go to Real Madrid. And when a player wants to go to another club, you don't go for that player. Do you know what I mean? You just leave them. You just leave them be and let that player go to that other club, because you don't want a player playing for your club that doesn't want to play there. You know what I mean? So as soon as he said, I want to play for Real Madrid, that was it. he's going to Real Madrid. Fair enough. But at Liverpool are after Tchouaméni for that reason. And Henderson is a problem as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Henderson is not guilty in all this. Henderson is very guilty in all this as well. Of course he is. Of course he is. I think personally, Hendo should only play if he's playing the number 6 for Liverpool now in the midfield. I really do. I think you play Hendo now at the number 6. Now, when Hendo went into that number 6 role, when Fabinho came off on Saturday, we got into the team a little bit more. We got into the game a little bit more. Now, Henderson is not as good as Fabinho as a player, right? He's not. But what he is, he's more mobile. He's more mobile than Fabinho is. He can get around the pitch a little bit more than Fabinho can. And the number 6 position suits Hendo because Hendo can take his time. He can see everything in front of him, and he hasn't got to run so much. In that number 8 position, Hendo's got to run from one box to the other box constantly, and he can't do that anymore. It's not his game. Hendo is better playing a simpler game, playing that number 6 role, playing a nice simple game. Or look, I've said other things as well. You can change it up. You can still play Hendo and Fabinho together as a double pivot and play 3 at the back. I don't know why Liverpool don't play 3 at the back and change it up a little bit. We got the players. Canate for Van Dijk and Matip as a back 3. Yeah. You keep Nat Phillips around. So you got Nat Phillips and Joe Gomez as your backup centre-backs. You play a back 3. You play Trent as right wing-back. And you play Robbo as left wing-back. You can play a double pivot of Fabinho and Henderson, so they don't have to run, they don't have to move anywhere, and it'll help them out a little bit more. You could play Carvalho as the number 10, yeah, in front of them as the number 10, or you can even play Thiago as the number 10 when he's fit. When Thiago's fit, you can play him in as the number 10, a little bit further forward. That way, he's not going to get tackled as much. And then you can play a front 3 of Salah, Nunez, and Diaz. You can change it up a bit. You can change things up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You can change things up a little bit. It helps players out. Helps all the players out. I watch a game of football and I analyse it in a way that I possibly can, yeah? We all analyse football a little bit differently. I watched Saturday's game and I was analysing what I was watching. And I'm looking at what I'm watching. I'm looking at it and thinking, look, Henderson's dog shit. There's no doubt about it. In that game against Fulham, Henderson was dog shit, yeah? Right? But he wasn't the worst midfielder. Fabinho was on Saturday. But no one is talking about it. You go on other YouTube shows, you go to people on Twitter, you look at it, it's Henderson this, Henderson that, Henderson's dead, get Henderson off my pitch, don't want to see Henderson Liverpool shirt ever again. What no one's talking about is Fabinho's performance. I don't know why, but Fabinho seems to get a free pass. He does get a free pass. And I don't get it. I love Fabinho. This is not me. We got to stop protecting players because we really like them, in my opinion. Because there's players we all like, yeah? So a lot of Liverpool fans really love Fabinho. And I love Fabinho as well. But that doesn't mean we have to keep protecting him constantly. Fabinho was at fault. It was an issue. His mobility was a problem. And for me, he couldn't win a tackle. He couldn't get to the ball in time because his pace let him down. For me, he was the worst midfielder by a mile. Henderson weren't far behind, but they were bad as each other. But all the talk always goes to Hendo this, Hendo that. And if anyone watched that game against Fulham, could blatantly see that Fabinho was the worst midfielder out of the two on Saturday by a country mile. But there's an issue with Fabinho at the moment, and I don't know what it is. His pace, I know he's never been quick. Obviously, he's never been quick, but now he's really slow. I mean, Thiago's not quick either, is he, guys? Thiago's really slow as well, ain't he? Thiago's really slow as well, right? And Thiago's quicker than Fab. much quicker on the ball and off the ball and to tackles. I just think, I just don't know what to do about the situation, though. This is my problem, guys, in the chat. I don't know what you guys think as well, but this is my problem in the chat. I don't think if we're playing 4-3-3, personally, let me know in the chat, guys, what you think on this. But if we're playing 4-3-3, I don't think you can play Hendo and Fabinho together anymore. I really don't. I think it's too slow. I think it's too slow. And this is not me dissing them as players. I love them as players. But at the end of the day, I don't support players. I support Liverpool Football Club. I'm not Henderson FC. I'm not Fabinho FC. I'm Liverpool FC. I'm a Liverpool fan. And I'm looking at it with an eye, analysing the game of football that, if Hendo is not available, I don't think Hendo and Fabinho are mobile enough together to play in a 4-3-3 for Liverpool Football Club going forward. Especially the way Klopp wants the midfield to play. 2 or 3 years ago, it weren't a problem. They're a little younger. Their legs were a little fresher. They weren't running to the ground. It weren't a problem. So if anyone tells me about 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, I agree. 2 or 3 years ago, they were fine because they were younger, their legs were fresher, and they weren't running to the ground. Now, it's 2022-2023 season. And Fabinho and Henderson could not play together in our midfield in a free. They just can't. One of them has to play, one of them has to be dropped, in my opinion. Yeah, you did, Gunben. You did, man. You did. I agree. All I'm saying is Hendo's a great footballer, but I don't agree he should be an 8. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he should be an 8 anymore. Hendo should be the backup 6, in my opinion. I think that suits his game. I think it suits his game great. He can sit back. He's actually very good in the tackle, Hendo. He's very good in the tackle. He's got more mobility around the pitch than Fabinho. He's just not as good as that job as Fabinho is, if that makes sense. But I don't mind Hendo. If someone told me tomorrow, all right, Hendo's going to play the number 6 in the next few games, I'll be like, all right, that's all right. I'm cool with that. Fabinho can have a sit out for a couple of games. I'm cool with Hendo playing number 6 and have players around him. I'm not bothered by that. But Hendo at the number 8, when Fabinho's playing the number 6, doesn't work anymore, in my opinion. And I think the reason is, I think other teams have figured that out as well. And if you press Fabinho now when he's in possession, or press around him anyway, if you put the midfield press on, if a midfield presses around Fabinho's area, Fabinho ain't got the mobility to get around that area if he's getting pressed on, right? And then that leaves Hendo on his own. And the problem is Hendo hasn't got the quality he used to have to do what needs to be done in that midfield position. So I look at people like Harvey Elliott now. Now, Harvey Elliott's little cameo on Saturday, Harvey Elliott's little cameo on Saturday was fantastic, weren't it? Let's face it. There was things Harvey Elliott was doing in that game that Hendo weren't doing. He was getting in pockets. He was getting in pockets on the pitch that Reed, the Fulham player Reed, couldn't pick him up. Elliott was getting a lot of free time on the ball. He was doing some nice flicks. I mean, there was one time he had 2. He was getting pressed. He had 2 Fulham players around him, and he did this nice little flick up, and it went over them into the space for Mo Salah to run onto. It was a lovely little bit of football, right? Really nice little bit of football. The commentators didn't pick up on it because they're useless. They're absolutely useless at their job. But it was a really nice bit of football. And Harvey Elliott's got great link-up play. Very, very good link-up play with Mo Salah. Very good link-up play. Hendo hasn't got that link-up play that Salah... Salah hasn't got the link-up play with Salah like Harvey Elliott has. Harvey Elliott's got very good link-up play with Mo. And you can tell the difference when Mo sees Harvey on the pitch. Yeah? You see the difference. Mo looks at Harvey. Harvey gets his head down, runs, gets into that space, and he's always looking for Mo. He finds Mo the pass. But what I like about Harvey Elliott, he doesn't admire what he's just done. He then makes the run. So Harvey will either pass it out to Mo. If Mo's out wide, he'll pass it into Mo, and then he'll make a run through the middle, looking for a 1-2. Or if Mo's more central, Harvey will pass the ball to Mo more central, and then Harvey will make the outside run and try and get wide. And because he's got younger legs and he's more mobile and he's got some technical ability, he's actually better at doing that at this moment in time than Jordan Henderson is. And again, this is not me slagging Jordan Henderson off. He's my captain. Look, Jordan Henderson, I've said it plenty of times, my favourite football player for Liverpool. I'll say it right now. He still is my favourite Liverpool player because of what he done for the club. You know, we can't pretend he weren't part of our successful period in this club. It's history under Jurgen Klopp. We can't all sit there and pretend that Jordan Henderson wasn't forefront part of the reason we were successful under Jurgen Klopp in this era. Yeah, Henderson was part of that, and he was the captain leading it. So we've got to give him credit where credit is due. Do you know what I mean? Credit has to go to him for that by a million. But that doesn't mean he can't come in for criticism. And criticism can be correct if it's done right. You know, I'm not going to just watch a game of football, then get my phone while I'm watching a game of football, get on Twitter and go, fucking Henderson, useless footballer. What is Klopp thinking of? Send, you know, and then just do that constantly. When I'm watching a game of football, I'm like, yeah, Endo's been dog shit today. There's no doubt about it. He's a 3 out of 10. Endo was a 3 out of 10 against Fulham. No doubt about it. But Fabinho was a 2 out of 10. Fabinho was a 2 out of 10. But did I see any talk or analysis about Fabinho anywhere online after Saturday's game? Hardly anywhere. Hardly anywhere did I see any analysis on Fabinho after Saturday's game. It's just Hendo this, Hendo that. And like I keep saying, Hendo was terrible. But Fabinho was worse. And that weren't just the case that game. And it's not reactionary either. As I keep saying, go back to my other videos in last season. I've been saying it for a while. They can't play together, in my opinion, no more. I thought they could. I said start of the season, Hendo, Thiago, Fab. I was proved wrong. I'm happy to admit it. I was proved wrong. And by the way, when I say I'm not talking to you guys in the chat, because you guys in the chat are with me all the time. So I'm not mentioning, when I say everyone online, I'm not talking about you guys online in the chat right now, because you guys in the chat are always with me in a way. So you know I've been saying that, and I know you guys have been saying it as well. So don't worry about you guys in the chat. I know you guys have been saying it. But it's too much Hendo talk all the time. And I think it's because he's English. It's simple as that. Simple as that. Yes, he's shit. He's terrible. Like against Fulham. But I've seen games, I'll say this again. I've actually seen games when Hendo's been actually really good. Yeah? I have seen games. I think Jack's in the chat as well, so Jack might know about this as well. I have seen games when Hendo's been really good, yeah? Right? And then, but Hendo then still gets criticised for his performance that game. You know, I have actually seen I've actually seen Hendo play well in a game. And I've gone, well, Hendo did all right today. I gave him a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good performance. And then people will go, no. He was dog shit. He was 2 out of 10. And it's like, you can't win. You can't win. If that's your view, you can't win. You can't win on him. Look, Hendo was terrible on Saturday. There's no doubt about it. But Fabinho was worse. And people just need to... I've been saying it. I know Savage has been saying it. I think I watched Saint LSC TV. Big up Saint LSC TV. He was saying it the other day. Him and Roms were saying it about Fabinho. You know, people have been saying it, but because Fabinho is well liked, Fabinho is well loved, then people won't mention it. Like the Coppish, but I love the. Like I'm going to have to go on Coppish on Friday. on Friday and have a calling show with them, because I'm going to have to go in and talk about this, because no one talks about it enough. No one talks about it enough. Fabinho's been having troubles for a while now. Went into last season and it's carried on this season. Now, this again is not me slagging off Fabinho as a footballer. Technically, Fabinho is always going to be a sound footballer when he's in his 60s, for goodness sake. But his mobility is gone. His mobility is gone. And it's a worry, because he's never had pace, but he's now slower than ever. He's now, and when I say mobility, it's not just his running. It's not his running as well. You know, his reading in the game, right? So his reading in the game is very good, right? His reading in the game is very good, right? But his legs now can't match his reading, can't match his brain. Yeah. So Fabinho knows he needs to get to that ball before somebody, because his reading in the game is really good. But it's really stopping him getting there because of his mobility. You know, it's just simple things like that. It's like the half turn. When you watch it, he turns like this. You know, he turns like this. That's a Fabinho half turn. I've gone and scored a goal by the time he's completed that turn. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying about Fabinho. It's just, yeah, Flacco has been in poor near the end of the season. It's just, I love the guy as well. I absolutely love Fabinho. I love Hendo. I love Trent. I love all these players. But yet, but what I'm trying to say, I am not Fabinho Football Club. I am. I thought the stream froze. I'm not Fabinho Football Club. I'm Liverpool Football Club. I'm a Liverpool Football Club fan. And if I think there's a player I absolutely love, but he may be not the player he used to be, it's heartbreaking to see. It really is, for me. Watching Fabinho at times. Now, there's going to be games. There is going to be games where Fabinho's going to look quality, right? There's going to be games where Fabinho's going to look very good, right? Because there's going to be teams in midfielders. Like, there's going to be teams we come up against that have got midfielders that don't run past you, yeah? Because you've got teams with midfielders that don't run past you, Fabinho's going to look quality in them games, because no one's going to be running at him. He's got more freedom. He can read the game extremely well. You know, he can get involved and get higher up the pitch without the threat of being run behind on. So Fabinho's going to look quality in them games. So people will go, click this up and come to me in like 4 weeks' time and go, oh, Fabinho man of the match in that game. Show me what you want about his mobility. It's not a problem. But then you go, what about the team he played? Have they got midfielders that run past anyone? Because if they haven't, of course he's going to look great in that game. It's an issue. So Donny Van Dijk, a big up Don Van Dijk. Rodri, for fuck's sake, is playing like prime Busquets. We need to work on him with Fabinho. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rodri is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League by a mile. Is Fabinho at this moment in time even the second best defensive midfielder in the Premier League? I'm asking an honest question here, guys, to you guys in the chat. I'm asking a real honest question to you guys in the chat right now. At this moment in time, is Fabinho any better than Ndidi at Leicester? Seriously. Hand on heart, guys. Hand on heart. Is Fabinho at this moment in time any better than Ndidi at Leicester? Because I don't know. I don't know at this moment in time. I really don't know. Is he better than Basuma? Is he better than Basuma right now? Have a proper conversation about it. We can't just say, yeah, Fabinho's world class. He'll always be world class. No one's ever going to be better than him. You got to be serious when you're having these chats. You know what I mean? Now, Fabinho, for me, is better on the ball than Ndidi, in my opinion. I look at Ndidi and I look at Fabinho, and I think Fabinho's better on the ball. Yeah, far better on the ball. But is he better in that? Would Ndidi look better for Liverpool right now than Fabinho does for Liverpool right now? I'll put it that way. So if we had Ndidi as the number 6 right now, do you think we would look a little bit better than if we had Fabinho number 6 right now? Do you know what I mean? Because again, I'm not doubting Fabinho's technical ability on the ball. Fabinho is very good on the ball. He's got a very good pass on him. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Fabinho's got a very good pass on him. He's got a very good vision on him. He's got a lovely dink over the top as well, where he can play the forwards in. He's got a very good pass on him as Fabinho. He's got that Brazilian sauce about him at the end of the day. Let's face it. Fabinho's got that Brazilian sauce about him. So games like that, he can perform really well. My problem with Fabinho, see, look, Savarian saying about the way we play gets overexposed. Rodri doesn't have that pressure. Fab plays through. Now, I will say about that is that Fabinho is a defensive midfielder. So he is the last line in the midfield. So I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about the overexposure and all that sort of thing, because he is a defensive midfielder. His game is to defend the space behind the midfield and the defence. Yeah, that's what a defensive midfielder is meant to do. So if he's got a number 8 next to him and number 10 that are, pushing out a bit wider or a bit higher up, you might be a bit exposed at times. Now, that is maybe where Fabinho's mobility is lacking. Do you know what I mean, guys? Because I'm not saying he hasn't got the technical ability. In my opinion, Rodri is the best all-round defensive midfielder in the Premier League. Yeah, Rodri is the best all-round defensive midfielder in the Premier League. But technically, as a footballer, Fabinho is second. Yeah, Fabinho is second. Technically, as a footballer, he's got a better pass and he's got a better shot on him on the ball. He's better on the ball than your Ndidi's and Basumas. Yeah, he's better than them two on the ball. Right. So he's number 2 in that position. But again, what I'm saying about his mobility being the problem, the way we play, yeah, sometimes he's going to be a bit exposed. Now, as I keep saying, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, it weren't a problem because Fabinho weren't running to the ground. Fabinho didn't run himself into the ground yet. His legs were fresh. Same with Hendo. Same with Gini. Gini was there as well. Milner. Their legs were a lot fresher. They were a lot younger, 2, 3 years ago. And it weren't a problem. But in 2022, 2023, if Fabinho does get exposed in the area, remember, he is a defensive midfielder. Defensive midfielders sometimes do get exposed in them areas, but they can, Rodri's got the mobility to cover that area, to cover that ground. Fabinho hasn't got that mobility to cover that ground anymore. That's my issue. But to keep Fabinho, the answer is simple, guys. To keep the Fabinho, we have to have 2 new centre mids with speed, like Gunburn's just said. Gunburn's in my head. Gunburn's thinking exactly like me. So, yeah, basically, Jay, if we're playing Fab, we have to have 2 centre mids with speed. Exactly. We have to have more mobility around him. Exactly, guys. Yeah, Aaron, you're damn right. I'm going to have that conversation about Bobby as well, my friend. You're damn right, my friend. You're damn right. Exactly, which is why we need to refresh the midfield. Exactly, guys. So, guys, I'm all in agreement with you. That is what I'm saying. So, at this moment in time, you can't play, in my opinion, anymore in a free midfield, in a 4-3-3. I don't know if you can play Henderson and Fab all the time together. Now, as I said, there's going to be games we play against midfielders that don't actually run past our midfield. Yeah, we're going to play against midfields that don't run past our midfield. So when we play them sort of teams, Henderson and Fabinho can play together, and they look probably really good. And the reason is because no one's really running past them, so they can push higher up the pitch. They can have more time to do what they're doing. So we do need more mobility in our midfield. I think we can all agree on that. Our midfield does lack mobility. There is no doubt about it. You know, Thiago, Hendo, and Fabinho must be one of the slowest midfields in the league. Must be. Because the mobility of them three, Thiago's probably got the best mobility out of all of them. We just need players. That's why we was looking at Tuchemeni. That's why we're looking at players like Jude Bellingham. Jurgen Klopp knows. Jurgen Klopp ain't silly. Jurgen Klopp. Jay, go look at the Fulham tweet about us. Embarrassing. Yeah, I know, about the grass. Aaron says, trouble is we've signed a new midfielder this window, though. We need one. Yeah, we need a strong competitive midfield. We certainly do. We need mobility in that midfield that can be competitive. Now, Jurgen Klopp knows this. Pep Linders knows this. Pep Linders and Jurgen Klopp know this. There's no doubt about it. That's why we're going for Tuchemeni. Now, if you read Pep Linders' book, Intensity, Pep Linders and Jurgen Klopp are massive fans of Nico Barella at Inter Milan. They're huge fans of his. They love him. He has the mobility, he has the technical awareness, and he has the quality and skill that will help our midfield massively. Yeah, they're massive fans of him. But yeah, I'd love them to get him in. I'd absolutely love, and that would help Fabinho out. If you have more legs around Fabinho, more mobility around Fabinho then can concentrate just doing his, you know, the technical work on his defensive midfield game, and he won't look out of place with his mobility, basically. But I wanted to start this video because I get sick and tired of everyone coming after the captain all the time. When I watched that game Saturday, and he wasn't the worst midfielder. He was dog shit, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he was great, he was awful. But he wasn't the worst on that pitch, not by a stretch of the imagination. But all the attention goes on him all the time. We just got to have this Fabinho chat. And there's nothing wrong with it, by the way, guys. There is nothing wrong with criticising and analysing your players. Because if you didn't do that, you would never sign anybody, would you? Do you know what I mean? You'd never replace anybody. You'd just go, right, they're fine for the rest of their career here. Don't need replacing. There's nothing wrong with him. You know, that's just not how football works. Sometimes you need to analyse and criticise positively as well. I don't want to see criticism of like, he's shit and he's dead. That's not criticism because you're giving me zero context. You know what I mean? You're giving us zero context that he's shit. You know, if you just go, right, Henderson's dead, he's shit, I'll never want to see him in a Liverpool shirt ever again, yeah? There is no context behind that. Give me some context of what you're saying. So criticism should always have context behind it. I've tried giving that today with Fabinho. I've said already he's a technical good footballer. He's always going to have that technically good football about him, but his mobility is an issue. And if people don't think his mobility is an issue, you're lying to yourself because it is. Yeah, it just is. And him and Hendo in certain games against certain teams or certain midfields. If you've got a team that's got a midfield that's very, it's got a lot of energy in that midfield, a lot of intensity in that midfield, likes running past you. You've got midfield runners who like to run past you and get into the box and things like that. You can't play Hendo and Fabinho together. You really can't. Because what you need a number 8. You need a number 8 who's going to push their midfield back. Do you know what I mean? You need a number 8 who's going to have ability to push their midfield back to stop their midfield runs. So you need that mobility and skill in that midfield. I'd like to see Harvey Elliott play more. Seriously, I'd like to see Harvey Elliott play a lot more alongside Fabinho. I think it might help Fabinho as well, having Harvey Elliott there. Because Harvey Elliott's got the legs, he's got the mobility, and he's also got the talent and the skill. Everyone might say about mobility's age, but I think Harvey Elliott, age don't matter when you're a good player. Age don't matter when you're a good player. And I'd like to see, our midfield against Crystal Palace, I'd actually like to see our midfield against Crystal Palace next Monday. I would actually like to see a midfield of Fabinho, Keita, and Harvey Elliott. That would be my midfield 3. That'd be my midfield. That'd be my midfield three going against Crystal Palace next weekend, next Monday. Fabinho, Keita, and Harvey Elliott. Got pace. You got mobility. Now, I know people takes the piss out of Naby Keita because he's injuries and all that. Fact of the matter is, he had a proper bad virus. Apparently, there's been some rumours of the virus he had. It's a horrible virus that you're at. You know, if anyone's had neurovirus, you know what I'm on about. It's horrible, right? And that's why he's out. But he's training now. And even last season, Naby Keita weren't actually that injured last season. He played It's just that Jurgen Klopp didn't pick him. Jurgen Klopp just didn't pick him. Jurgen Klopp's already spoke about it before. Jurgen Klopp spoke about it last season. No, Naby's not injured. He's just not in the squad. He was more available than people think he was last season. Now, I think Naby, Harvey, Naby on the left, Harvey on the right, Keita in the 6, and we try and go at Palace with that midfield. Keita on the left asked to do a disciplined role. No, I'd give Keita a bit more freedom. I'd give Keita a bit more freedom. I'd give Keita a little bit more freedom. And that's for Palace, because I don't think we need too much discipline against Crystal Palace. Look, we're playing at Anfield against Crystal Palace, yeah? Yes, they got Eze and Elise and all that, but I don't think we need too much midfield control against. I mean, what do we class as midfield control, guys? What do we class as midfield control? Because Man City play with 2 number 10s and a number 6. You know, their midfield is 2 number 10s and a number 6. You know, they're not doing defensive controlling work, but they can learn how to play it. Yeah. You can play these players, but play a different way of playing. Do you know what I mean? You can control the midfield by changing the tempo, by changing the way you pass the ball, by changing the way you hold onto the ball, the way you control the ball. You know, you can be disciplined like that. You don't have to just be a Hendo who sits there and covers runs as the discipline. Do you know what I mean? You can do it in a way that you have the ball, you keep the possession, you keep control of the game. You can do it like that as well. So you can do it in different ways with different players. Not all players are going to be the same, you know. Naby, that's not Naby's game, you know. You know, you can change the way you play with different players that come on the pitch, and see so we'll get run over. I don't think we would. I don't think we would. I think Naby. I think Naby's better on what people give him credit for. I really do. I think Naby can do a game. I mean, at the moment, I'm just thinking of it, the midfielders we have available, guys. I'm thinking of it, the midfielders we actually have available to us right now. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm not. If we had all the midfielders available that we should have available, I probably wouldn't go with Naby for this game. But I'm trying to think of who we've got available. Do you go with James Milner then? So no Naby. So take Naby out, keep Naby on the bench. James Milner on the left of the 3, then Fabinho on the 6, and Harvey Elliott on the right. Now, that would probably help us out more. That would probably help us out more with control, having like a Naby, a Milner there, if you want to go that way. I'm trying to think who we got available. Did Liverpool know what they were buying with the availability? Only had one season where he's played 30 games in the league in 8 seasons. Is that Naby? Yeah, it's mad, ain't it? That's mad. It's just madness, ain't it? It really irritates me because I know there's a player there with Naby Keita. Do you know what I mean? I know there's a player there. It just seems like Klopp is stuck in his ways right now, which is frustrating. But we'd never want Klopp out. Just want to see the see the problems. HDS says Fabinho, Milner, and Elliott probably. Yeah. So we'll go with that 3. Yeah. So we leave Naby on the bench, guys, for Monday, and go Milner, Fabinho, and Elliott. Because to be fair to Milner. Oh, Thiago. Oh, yeah, because of his injuries at Bayern Munich as well. Yeah, you're a good point there, Jack. Good point, my mate. Good point you bring up. To be fair to Milner, he deserves a start. It's mad to say. He's 37 years old. He's now got a beard. Got so a 1 year deal. But if you think about how Milner has played coming on as a substitute, when you look at the rest of the players there, could you arguably say that Milner should start? And here's another one. Here's another one for you. Someone said to me, someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was, but one of you guys said it to me in the chat the other day. Milner is arguably better in the 8 right now than Henderson is. Don't know if you guys agree with that. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Yeah, should Millie start just because of the beard? I think you should sweat around. You know, that beard is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Was it you, Aaron? Big up to yourself, my friend. I know it's one of us in the chat right now. Yeah, so that's a question for you guys. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think in the chat? Is Milner actually better in the number 8 role than Jordan Henderson right now? Like, literally right now. What do you guys in the chat think? Because it's one to think about, actually. It's one to think about. I think Milner plays against Palace. I think Milner might play against Palace. Yeah, it might be that midfield 3. Harvey Elliott, James Milner, and Fabinho. I think that might be the thing. Pablo says yes. No, don't agree. If Endo's effort has gone, he wouldn't be having this conversation. Milner has always been an amazing player. Yeah, I think Milner gets a bit unjust sometimes. Just a month ago, people were saying why the new deal with me. Now he's the best available in our midfield. Don, I know. Look, Don, I weren't saying it. I agreed with the Milner 1 year deal. I agreed with it. And now you see why as well. I think he is Jamie. Milner never drops below a 7, Jamie. Always gives 100%, yeah. Endo, Milner, Harvey, he starts, I think. 4-2-3-1 will not work. It's too static. I think we invested in Cater to be a starter a lot more than it is planned out. And they are sceptical to do that again. They need to shorten next time midfielder. Yep. Yeah, but Millie has been on reduced playing time over the season. But how many games can he play back to back? That is a good point. Getting Jay Spearing. No, Connor. I did say, though, I think I said it on Jack's channel. If Jack's still in the chat. I think I said this on Jack's channel at the beginning of the season when I was last on his show. I did say it wouldn't shock me if you saw Jay Spearing playing in the League Cup for Liverpool. Because he's registered, because he's playing with the under-23s. So he's actually registered to play. So that means we could actually pick Jay Spearing to play in, say, a League Cup game in round 3 of the League Cup. Could you imagine that? Because he's registered to play because he plays for the under-23s. So we can actually play him in the cup. Jesus Christ. Jay Spearing could actually play a cup game for Liverpool. Do you know how mad that is? Milner is very hot-headed, but always been an amazing player against Fulham. And as soon as Núñez came on, Milner did an amazing cross back to Núñez. He did. When Milner came on first, he looked miles better in the 8. He did. It's mad, ain't it? Darwin need to start against Palace. They do. The speed Palace play with on today not going to be easy. Let's just get Jan Mulby back. Let's do it. I reckon Jan Mulby could do a job now, Savarian. I really do. You know, Jan Mulby was always a bit chubby, even when he was in the peak of his career. Jan Mulby was always a little bit chubby, but he just stood there, didn't he? Could pass there. Wherever you needed the ball, he could put it. Quality footballer. Mitrovic, Cruyff, Turney, Virgil, Elliott and Henderson showed state of us all day. Fulham have tweeted it as well. Yeah, I mean, big up to Fulham. They deserved everything. They really did. Fulham were fantastic. Jamie, we all know that the midfield is going to be Hendo, Fab, Naby. It's obvious that what it's going to be. Oh, yeah. I mean, then that's a Klopp issue, ain't it? Then that's a Klopp issue, guys. And what do we do there? because that's a Jurgen Klopp issue, that is. So if we already know the midfield's going to be Hendo, Fab and Naby, it's a Klopp issue. Is that a Klopp issue? You don't want me to say what I think about Jurgen Klopp right now. You don't want me to say what I'm actually thinking, I'm telling you. I don't think if I said right now what I think at this moment in time about the Klopp issue, you lot might hate me for the rest of your life. You really might hate it. Because it might have to be said soon, guys. It might have to be said. There might be conversations coming up very soon about it. Very, very soon. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go there just yet. I'm going to let it play out. By the way, I'm not on about getting rid of Klopp. Jesus Christ. I'm not on about that. I am not on about Jurgen Klopp leaving this football club. If everyone's thinking Jamie's going to say that, that is not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But there is some issues that we need to talk about. Fuck it. Right. So we're Jurgen. This midfield situation, right, we have right now. We was obviously looking at players in the summer. We was obviously looking at Tuchemeni. I mean, it's very obvious. The club have basically admitted it. Everyone's admitted it. Everyone knows that we were in for Tuchemeni. There was no doubt about it. But with this midfield situation, I don't know who's to blame. I really don't know who's to blame for it right now. I really don't know who's to blame about it right now, guys. Now, I know a lot of people are always on FSG's back, and I can understand sometimes why they would be. I can. I don't think this midfield situation is all FSG. I really don't. I don't think all this is down to the ownership. I do think Klopp has a big say. I do. I think Jurgen Klopp really does have a massive say in it. Apparently, what I've read from reporters that I trust when they talk about Jurgen's contract, apparently in Jurgen's contract now, he has a big say on transfers. He has a bigger say on transfers now. Obviously, we still have a transfer committee. We have a head of transfer development, in Julian Wards and stuff like that, and Mike Graham and Jurgen. It's basically them three, right? They look at players, they look at deals, they look at who we can bring in. They were obviously looking at Tuchemeni. That was a deal. Right? They wanted Tuchemeni, right? As soon as Tuchemeni was a no-go, should there have been a backup player? Should there have been a backup midfielder that we're going for? Now, everyone tell me Jude Bellingham. Right. This is the problem I got with the Jude Bellingham thing right now, guys, yeah? If you look at the midfield situation, yeah? Milner will leave at the end of the season. If Naby Keita don't sign a new contract, he will leave at the end of next season. Oxlade-Chamberlain will leave next season on a free. That is 3 players out of our midfield gone for free. Yeah, gone. Right. So one midfielder coming in is not enough. If we just go for Jude Bellingham in the summer, it's going to cost over £100 million. Have we got enough money then to go and spend almost 170 million? Would you say? £170 million on 2 midfielders next summer? Because I look at our team. If I'm looking at our team right now, goalkeeping situation right now is absolutely fine. I am perfectly happy with Addison and Queven Kelleher, right? perfectly fine. I look at our defence, Calvin Ramsey, Trent, Gomez, Matip, Virgil, Kanate, Robertson, Tsimikas. Defensive side of the game, absolutely fine. I look up front. I look at the forward areas. Salah, signed new contract, fine. Diaz, just bought him, fine. Darwin Núñez, fine. Carvalho, he's going to be one of them attackers. And Jota, yeah? And then Bobby. So that's 6. We've got 6 forwards, yeah? For me, the forward area is fine. If when Bobby leaves as well, we're probably going to have to replace Bobby, so we might get a new forward there. So if you look at the goalkeeping situation, the defensive part of the game, and actually our forward line, everything is okay. It's the midfield area. So what I'm saying is, if we are going for Jude Bellingham, like everyone's telling us we are, if that is serious, then there is no reason for us not to spend all the money just on our midfield next summer. We don't really need any defenders. We don't need a new goalkeeper. We don't really need any new forwards. Just go all out and get midfielders in next summer. Yeah, if we're not going to buy anyone this summer. Unless we buy a midfielder still this summer, because there's rumours online at the moment, especially in the Liverpool Echo, with some top reporters in the Echo. And we're looking at that and thinking, there's a midfielder we're apparently going for, Brozovic. Now, I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on that at all. Yeah, Brozovic, there you go. I mean, he's a decent midfielder, don't get me wrong, but he's not the quickest. But he's a decent midfielder. There would be a decent one if we could get him. I totally agree with you, Jamie. We share the same brain. You never know. You never know, Gumban. Yeah, he's slow. That is the problem, brother. He's slow, but he's a technically good footballer. It's a mad one, ain't it? It's a mad one. Who do we go for? I think we need to go into transfer market this summer. I still think we got to the 1st of September. Yeah, he's a centre. He's the DM, yeah. We're looking at DMs 6 times. If you look at all our transfer activity this summer and all the midfielders we are rumoured to buy, they're all being sort of defensive midfielders. Sangara, who's just signed a new contract at PSV now, says he's going to cost a fortune, an absolute fortune now to buy. Defensive midfielder. Tuchemeni can play that defensive midfield role as well. We was looking at others as well. There was another player we was looking at who's a defensive kind of midfielder as well. So all the midfielders we're kind of looking at are sort of like defensive type, industrious, robust midfielders, yeah? They're not like your goal-scoring number 8s. So I don't know who we buy in, but we definitely need somebody. Because I think if we can get a midfielder in this summer, before the 1st of September, before the deadline day, if we get a midfielder in, I think we're all a lot happier. We'll all be a lot happier going forward for the rest of the season. And I think we're away. But it's all we need. Look, we're not asking for a lot. Personally, I think when I look at our squad, goalkeeping situation's fine, defensive situation's fine, the front line is fine. It's the midfield area. We just get one body in right now and get another body in the summer. Yeah, like get a Faber and Newhouse or something like that. You know, or Tillemans. Look, Tillemans is still available and they're asking for 25 million. If anyone goes to Leicester right now and go up to Leicester right now and go for Tillemans, offer 25 million for Tillemans, you go buy him. Get Tillemans in, stick him in this team, and it probably helps us out a little bit. It really does. So get one of them in. Get one of them in. Look. Yeah, James Maddison, I absolutely love. Love James Maddison. Absolutely love James Maddison. James Maddison be a player I'd go for. He'd be a midfielder I'd go for. 50 mil. It's 50 mil. I think 50 million's a fair price for James Maddison. I think 50 million's a fair price for James Maddison. Because you think of what James Maddison does. You think of the goals and assists and the goal creations he creates, right? I don't think 50 million is that bad of a price of James Maddison. I really don't. I really don't. I don't think that's a bad price. I don't think that's a bad price for James Maddison, and he's a quality midfielder too. I don't think that's a bad deal. I know a lot of people think 50 million James Maddison. It's like, yeah, that's about right. Look what he does. Look what he does for Leicester. Didn't he get like 11 goals and 10 assists last season for Leicester, who had a very poor season? And you're saying he ain't worth 50 mil? No, I'd get Maddison all day long. But I don't think we're signing anyone. That's the problem. So when I say we're not signing anyone, if we're not going to sign anyone this summer, this is what it goes back to. This is what it goes back to. Who are we blaming? We're blaming the ownership, not giving Klopp the money to go and get a midfielder. Or are we looking at Jurgen Klopp and going, we hear him all the time in interviews, he's happy with midfielders. Last season, he called Oxlade-Chamberlain world class. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that, guys. Last season, he called Oxlade-Chamberlain world class. He's a big Naby Keita fan. Jurgen Klopp really rates Naby Keita. Really does. Really rates Naby. And that's why he gives Naby a chance consistently. He consistently gives Naby a chance because he really rates Naby Keita. So it's a mad one, ain't it? It's a mad one. I don't know who to blame. I really don't. Big up Fortress Anfield. Big up, my friend. How you doing? It's been a while, my man. It's been a while. Jamie, we have a podcast soon about a midfield fella. Big up to you, my man. Big up to you. Go and subscribe to the Fortress Anfield, guys. I think he's near 2K. So go and give him a shout out. Go and subscribe to Fortress Anfield. He's almost on 10K. How you doing, my friend? I ain't seen you in a while. I saw that you done up your office. You got your virtual studio. It's all looking good, my man. It's all looking good. Big up to you, my friend. Yeah, so I'm not sure of the blame. FSG and Klopp are both to blame. I think that's about right. It's a Varian. I think that's about right. I do think they share the blame on it. I think they do share the blame on it. The problem is the owners are probably going to Klopp. Right, Jurgen, do we need any midfielders? Like, we're spending money right now. We've just got Núñez in. We've just done wages. We've got a bit of money in the pocket through sales. Do we need any midfielders? And if Jurgen's going to the owners, do you know what? I'm happy with what I've got. The injuries are not too bad. They're going to be back in a few weeks' time. Then I'm going to have too many midfielders. So then what do we do with all the midfielders? So if Jurgen's talking like that, then it's I don't know. Rocket, where's the money gone? That's what I'm saying, my man. Where's the money gone? Well, we have spent money. But this is what I'm saying, Bew. This is what I'm saying. I love that Cobra Kai avatar, by the way. This is what I'm saying, Bew. Who do we blame? Because if you listen to Klopp in interviews, he says he says, I'm happy with the midfield options I got. He rates players. I don't think, this is what I reckon personally. This is what I reckon personally. This is what I reckon. This is what it comes down to. I think Jurgen Klopp wants to give a lot of playing time to Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and Carvalho. Sorry, guys. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't breathe and I spoke and it went down the wrong arm. Right. I apologise. I think Klopp wants to give playing time to Carvalho, Elliott, and Curtis Jones this season. And because he wants to give them playing time this season, that is why I think he doesn't want to buy a midfielder. I think we was in for Tielemans, in for Tchouaméni, but as soon as that deal didn't go through, I think Klopp looked at it and thought, right, I can't get Tchouaméni. Because you've got to remember with Jurgen Klopp as well. Jurgen Klopp is very, very particular on the player he buys. It was the same at Borussia Dortmund. You talk to Borussia Dortmund fans, yeah? He was always very particular on the player that he brought into the club. He won't just go after anybody. He's always been like this. He's not going to change now. I think he feels like, because he couldn't get Tuchemeni, I think he feels like, I want to give Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott and Carvalho the time because I believe in them. Now, if you're Harvey Elliott, you're Curtis Jones and you're Carvalho and you're hearing your manager basically believe in you like that you can be top footballers and he's going to give you the time and the ability to show what you've got on the pitch, that should boost you with a lot of confidence. And I believe that's what Klopp's doing this summer. I think he's looking at them 3 players and going, when they're available to play, I'm going to play them as much as I can. I think when Curtis comes back, Curtis Jones is going to get a lot of time on pitch. I think Harvey's going to get a lot of time on the pitch. And I think Carvalho is going to get a lot of time on the pitch this season. I think Klopp's going to give them this season to see what they can do. And then in the summer, he'll go and buy midfielders around the people that are leaving. So Ox will leave. Milner will leave. If Naby don't sign his new contract, he will leave. That's 3 down. So then 3 will be replaced. But it will keep your Elliott's, your Curtises and your Carvalhos and then build the team around it like that. I think that's what he's thinking. I think that's what he's thinking. I really do. I think that's what he's thinking. I might be wrong. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But yeah, I think that's what he might be thinking. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think. Yeah. But yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard to blame anyone on it. But big up Chase, send away from Fortress Anfield. Hope you're doing well, mate. We'll have to do a show together soon, brother. This Midfield show, mad. Yeah, Chase, no problem. Man. Yeah, no problem. Guys, if you've not put, yeah, there you go. Pablo's put his Fortress Anfield's link in the chat. So go and subscribe to my good friend over there, Chase, the Irish Scouser. Go and give him a chat. Go and give him a subscribe. Go and give him a like. Go and check out his videos. His videos look beautiful. He's got that virtual green screen. Do you know what I mean? He's got the virtual studio going on. He looks beautiful. Go and check him out. It doesn't bother me. Klopp bigging up players. That's part of his man management style. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Let's be honest. Klopp is hella prideful. Will try and make these players work out stubbornness and pride. I do believe when you look at when I listen to Klopp talk, he's very passionate, and I do believe he thinks good coaching can improve good players. So I think when he looks at a player, he knows they're a decent player. He knows there's something there, and if he can keep them fit and he can coach them to the best of his ability, I think Klopp thinks he can get the best out of that player, and that's how he goes about it. I mean, it's hard to disagree with him sometimes because he has done it. I worry Klopp would say that though, Joe. Yeah, I know. Big up Pablo. Much appreciated, Reds, if you can subscribe. Thanks for doing that. No worries, my man. Melvin, how you doing, man? I wonder sometimes why Klopp is not demanding to FSG because he has all the rights to ask for midfielders. He gave his club so much, and we played all the trophies. Yeah, well, that tells you that Klopp's happy with the way FSG do business, don't it? I've always said that. Jurgen Klopp and FSG go together like this. They're perfect for each other. You know, when you get owners and managers are sometimes at odds, they just don't get on. They're bad for each other, yeah? All right, like Conte with Roman Abramovich, yeah? Conte and Roman Abramovich fell out, right? Just fell out. Jurgen Klopp and FSG are like this. I think they're one and the same. They have the same thought process as in football and as in business. If Jurgen Klopp was going to start a business, I think Jurgen Klopp's business would be very like FSG's business. I really do. I think that's how Jurgen Klopp thinks. I think they're both. I think FSG, John Henry, Tom Werner, Mike Gordon? Sorry, I think they're all. Yeah, Mike Gordon, ain't it? Mike Gordon, Mike Gordon, John Henry, and Tom Werner. I think them and Klopp all think quite similarly. I think they're all quite on a similar path and all that, and they like the way they work. I think Klopp likes the way they work. They like the way Klopp works. And I think it marries really well together. That's why Klopp's never really gone out. And look, Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers in world football. He could easily sit there in a press conference and demand, because at the end of the day, all us fans will be backing Jurgen. Every single one of us fans will go, yeah, we're backing Jurgen. Jurgen's our man. He's one of the best managers in world football. He has every right to go to his owners and ask for something if he thinks he needs it, yeah? Every right. But he doesn't do that, which tells me he's happy with the way the relationship is. Now, we might not be, but obviously they're very happy with the way the relationship is, guys. Very happy. Ward-Prowse is a good option. I like Ward-Prowse. I was saying it earlier with Savage as well on this show. I like Ward-Prowse. I think Ward-Prowse is a very good footballer. He's a better footballer than people give him credit for. Everyone thinks he's just a set-piece merchant. He's really not. Go and have a look at Ward-Prowse play, guys. The problem is at Southampton, he can't show off his passing ability because the players at Southampton are not as good as him. And plus, he's always having to pass backwards because there's no forward attack. I think Ward-Prowse would be very good in our midfield. I've always said it. I think people just diss him because his name's Ward-Prowse and he's English. But really he's actually a very good footballer. Thiago out for 4 or 6 weeks. Yeah, sit there and say, I'm happy, I'll wait. Is he out for 4 or 6 weeks? I thought he's out 2 weeks. Does that come out news? That's breaking news. Let's just go and have a look. Ain't seen any breaking news on it just yet. Let me just go and change Pierce's Twitter page. Burnley are trying to get Sepp Vandenberg. No shock there. Let me have a look. So a setback. Liverpool plan was to sit tight until 2023 before reinforcing that area of the squad. But they might need to think again. There you go. There you go. Even James Pearce is saying they might rethink going in again. So there we go. We spent money, but they got most of it back. So didn't really spend much at all in the end. Every club does exactly the same thing. I keep saying this till I'm blue. Every club does exactly the same thing. Do you know where Chelsea get most of their money from for transfers? All the loan signings they do. Do you know how much money Chelsea make on loan fees alone with all the players they loan out? Chelsea's academy is a farm. That's what Chelsea's academy is. Chelsea Academy is a farm. It's there to loan out and transfer players to make money that then goes to buying into the first team. Chelsea makes so much money on loan fees and transfers from the youth team. Like Chelsea sell players I've never even heard for like 20 million from their youth side. But no one talks about it. And then they use that money to go and buy players. Everyone does it. Man City are doing it this season. Man City got a net spend of minus, plus 11 million or something like that. They've sold, They've sold more than they've spent this summer. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And by the way, when I'm talking about Man City didn't go and buy Cucurella for the money that Brighton wanted because they didn't think he was worth it. They didn't think he was worth it. Can you imagine if Liverpool went and go for Cucurella, the deal was 50 million, Liverpool didn't want to offer 50 million, yeah? This whole fan base will be up on their knees, screaming, going, why FSG just doing the deal? Just do the deal. Just do the deal. Get the deal done. Get the deal done. But they rate players differently. They rate players differently. They rate players completely differently. Man City didn't rate Cucurella at 65 million, so they walked away. Simple as that. They walked away. They didn't rate him for that money. No one shouts at Man City for doing it. This is what I'm saying. This ain't an FSG love him, by the way, guys. I am just talking facts. Simple. 200 chats. Smash the likes. Yeah, hit the likes, guys. Smash it all up. You know what to do, guys. You know what to do. Everyone here knows what to do by now. Personally, I don't think we'll even get Jude Bellingham. There's 100% going to be a bidding war for him. The only thing we can do is we'll get him early. We should go for you, Tidmans. Agreed. Smash the likes. There you go. Just subbed. I think he wants to get. Yeah, I can never pronounce his name, but I agree. Don't believe it. You're right, KZ. Hope you're doing well, my man. Jamie, the club is spending its money. FSG is not putting anything more. Who is buying Naby and Knox from us and then turn around to buy replacements? 8 midfielders we have, 1,332 games between them, 110 goals shocking. And he keeps saying we don't need a midfielder. How many can get into City? 1 max. If he wanted to give time, he would have started Harvey. I mean, it's a long season, to be fair, KZ. It's a long season. I mean, we've got 37 Premier League games left. Shitload of cup games, Champions League cup games, to be fair. We should just terminate Ox's contract. Yeah, probably should. Legend Diaz, big up. Jamie, where do you expect us to finish this season? Second. Still finish with. I still think we finish in the top 2. I think everyone's just going a bit OTT right now. I think a lot of people are just going a bit over the top right now. We just got to chill our brakes a little bit. It's a long season. Would it surprise you guys if from next Monday we beat Crystal Palace, yeah? Comfortable we'll win at home against Crystal Palace, and we go on a 10-game winning streak? Because it wouldn't shock me because we do it all the time. It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me at all if Liverpool just went on a winning streak and started blowing teams away. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all. Really wouldn't. Darwin Núñez, absolutely fan. Darwin Núñez has to start against Crystal Palace. Bobby can't start against Palace. Like Savage said it earlier on his show, and I agree. Bobby Firmino and Luis Diaz can't play together. They just can't because they both do the same job. So, one of them has to play, one of them has to sit on the bench. So Luis Diaz plays, Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah up front. You play a bit more of a youthful midfield alongside Fabinho's experience. Job done. Job done. You'll be fine. It wouldn't shock me when he went on a massive winning streak. I'm not going to sit here and say the season's dead. Guys, when we had our worst ever season under Klopp, we finished 3rd. Yeah? Defending our title. We had so many injuries. Van Dijk injured for the season. Matip injured for the season. Gomez injured for the season. We finished 3rd in the league, above Chelsea, who went and won the European Cup. All right? And we went on a massive win streak with that. We won. We drew. We last 10 games of the season, we won 8 and drew 2. So we can do it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting carried away. I'm not getting upset about it. I still think we'll finish 2nd in this league. It wouldn't shock me at all if we finish 2nd in this league. It really wouldn't. Really would. I forgot to put my thing on. It really wouldn't if we finish 2nd. It wouldn't shock me at all. Wouldn't shock me at all. It's all on Klopp. He said we have a lot of midfielders, but it's actually a lot of duds like Jones and Keita, Ox. None of them would start for Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, and Tottenham now. People told me that last season as well when we finished 2nd. So, I do agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with any of you guys who want to say that sort of stuff. You're all perfectly should say it. But when I look at it, I look at Ox. Yeah. But these midfielders have been consistently getting us higher in the league than Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United. Like consistently. Last few years, we have been finishing higher above Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Arsenal. But our midfield is always like, it wouldn't get into Tottenham's midfield. It wouldn't get into Man United's midfield. It wouldn't get into that so-and-so's midfield. But somehow we always finish above them. So it's a weird one. Playing time for Curtis and Harvey Elliott and Carvalho is okay, but we can't win the league because the City midfield and ours is so weak. Right, the City midfield is elite. There is no doubt about it. But who we go buy that can compete with that City midfield? Like literally, who can we buy? that is going to compete with that City midfield. Like, I've heard people say just one player or two players now in that midfield and we compete with City's midfield. Does it? Really? Really? Have you seen their midfield? It's elite. It's the best midfield in Europe by a distance. It's the best midfield in Europe. They could pick any two midfield threes, and it's still the best midfield in the Premier League. So one or two midfielders we buy is not really going to compete with that City midfield, is it? At the end of the day, we can get Bellingham right now. We can have Bellingham and I don't know, Matheus Nunes in this midfield for Liverpool right now. It's still not competing with City's midfield. Just ain't. So, and by the way, I've said this as well, and I'm going to say it again. Right? If we did have a midfield of, say, I don't know, say we had a midfield of Neuhaus, Bellingham, Barella, and we still didn't win the league, and City still won the league, who we going to blame? Who are we blaming then? Because we got the midfield everyone wanted, but we still ain't winning the league? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know. I'm so confused by this midfield stuff. I really am. I'm sick of talking about it in a way. I am sick of coming on here every bloody day and talking about this. It's driving me balmy. It really is. It's driving me balmy. At the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it. We can all talk about it. We can all talk about transfers. Barella, Bellingham, Neuhaus, Matheus Nunes. We can all talk about these players. Unless we sign anyone, what are we talking about? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I really, really don't know, guys. I really don't know. This midfield does, it's a mad one, ain't it? It's a mad one. He's not even playing Fabinho in midfield. He's still starting Henderson in the 8. I'm sorry, these things are just not adding up. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, KZ. I do agree with you, my man. I do agree with you. Yeah, they're not. They're probably not Chase. They're probably not my friend. I don't know about Curtis Jones. But the others, yeah, Naby, unfortunately, he's not been good enough. But what makes me angry with the Naby Keita thing is that I know he's a good player. I know there's a very good player in there with Naby Keita. Just he's not showing it. Yeah, Fabio is a 4. Well, he can play. Like when I mean midfield, I mean like the number 10 position. I think you still class the number 10 as 4. Do you still class number 10 position as a midfield area? I'm not sure. Klopp shows too much loyalty to these players. Big on Lee Ron. How you doing, my friend? Are you doing well? Giving the kids a chance is okay, but why keep Ox this year? I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I'm confused as everyone is. I am confused as everyone is. Fabio's an attacking midfielder. Yeah, go. So he's still a midfielder. Curtis is not good enough. I like Curtis. I might be the only one. Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool will consider a new midfielder if there's any opportunity on the market, says Fabrizio. There you go. Big up Pablo. But what does that mean on the market? There is players available. That's the thing. See that when these comments come out, there is players available. But who are we looking at? We don't know. The thing with Liverpool transfers is we never know who we're looking at. Do you remember when Fabinho just signed like that and no one even knew we was looking at him? Like Jota signed like that. We didn't even know we were looking at Jota. No, we do that. So it wouldn't surprise me if we are talking to people. Like we wouldn't be doing our job. Like Liverpool as a company, as a club, wouldn't be doing their job if they weren't talking to players and their agents already. They're probably looking at teams. We don't know if they've already spoke. I mean, for all we know, Liverpool have already spoken to Inter Milan about Barella, and Inter Milan have told us he's not going anywhere this summer. Come back next summer, and then maybe we can talk. But this summer, it's off the table. But because no one can report on that because no one knows how we do our transfer dealings. We don't know if that's the case. Do you know what I mean? We might be talking to teams all the time and they're just saying, not this summer. No, not available. Sorry. So we're just leaving it. We just don't know. Do you know what I mean? We just don't know. We need starters. We don't need kids learning. That midfield against Fulham broke my heart. I'm disgusted by the level of the performance. To be fair, right, the Fulham performance weren't just the midfield, was it? It was the whole team. It was the whole team. I've never seen Virgil so shit. Never seen Matip so shit. Never seen Trent and Robbo so shit. The front line was shit. You know, Diaz was quiet. Salah was quiet. Bobby was terrible. I mean, it weren't just the midfield, was it, to be fair? It was the whole team. It was the whole team. Jurgen Klopp and opportunity on the market. I think we kept Ox because no one would play what they think he's worth. Yeah, probably. I think Jones could be better, but not as a genie player. Yeah, I agree. The games we lost was on Klopp. He refused to play an actual defender in that, while Hendo and Fab, when he finally backed own, we started to get back to winning or drawing. It's a little true. It's a little true. We can't talk too much kids and the kids to deliver. That is true. Much appreciated, Reds. Thanks all up. Big up. Jamie, honest answer, do you think we can win the league this season if Klopp insists on Fab and Hendo together? No. Well, we didn't last year, did we? So I don't think that'll change. But I do think this season's going to be more competitive than people think. I think this season is going to be very competitive. Let's see how we go. Let's see where the land lies in 10 games' time, guys, yeah? Let's wait for 10 games. Let's get 10 games in the Premier League done. And let's see where we lie. Let's see where we lie then. Because you never know. If we win our next 10 games in a row, then we're probably going to be in second in the league, ain't we? Basically waiting for Brenner to say, I want to leave. Totally agree, because Elliott found Curtis need game time to improve. That's how Jude Bellingham gets to where he's at. Exactly, Elijah. The problem is some of those starters are no longer improving, rather regressing. That's why you probably got to look at the kids, KZ. It's probably why you got to look at the youngsters. Bobby's lack of movement helped Fulham on Sunday. Yep. Klopp is a yes man. Don't know about that, but that Villa kid that went to Chelsea is meant to be serious, but how many kids can you have in the midfield? Even Jude is a kid. It's a good point, Kev. Good point. Klopp is a yes. Conte is a winner. Not in Europe, he ain't. Attackers out. 3 attackers is one. We went backwards. Midfielders were carrying out 3 seasons. Starting midfielder. Nothing came in. We went backwards. It's just ridiculous. Sending Tyler Morton on loan looks silly now. Klopp will be proven right come mid-season. Yeah, I mean, I disagree, Jamie. Unless Klopp is part owner of the club, it says in nothing that damages legacy by accepting second. Probably, mate. Probably. We got to start Harvey and Nunes and Fabio on Monday. Jamie, do you agree? Yeah. Too reliable by Jonas, then we've bid 80 million for Pino from Villarreal, Arsenal as well. Interesting. Pepe's won Champions League title away from shadowing Klopp in history books. Big up to the chat. Howdy, Rod. How you doing, my friend? What is everyone's midfield 3 be for Palace? Says Jack. Oh, I mean, I've told you mine already. Thinking of it now, I'm probably going to go Naby. I would probably go... Looking at it, no, I'll probably go Milner, Harvey Elliott, and Fabinho. That 3. Guys, don't forget to leave a like on the show so far, guys. We've got 216 people watching. We've got 74 likes. Try and bash it up to 100 if we can today, please. Try and get up to 100. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, guys, go and smash that fun button. That fun button right there. You see that fun there? Right there. That's the like button. Go and smash that up, guys. Go and smash that up. Let's try and get to 100 likes, guys. We're on 77 right now. And smash it up. If you're watching on your phone and your tablet, just take the finger of power. Take that finger right over on your touchable screen and press that fun button. If you're watching on your computer, take your cursor over, press that fun button. It's free to do. It takes half a second and it helps out the channel massively. Thank you very much. Yeah, the midfield thing does my absolute tits in, it has to be said. Big up, JB. How you doing? Right, I've had my say on that, guys. I've had my say on that. I've had my say on Liverpool Football Club. Let's move on to other things. Let's have a bit of a laugh. Let's talk about Man United. Let's talk about Manchester Shitty United, yeah? Let's have a laugh at Man United. So, Man United lost to Brighton in the first game of the season. It's funny. It's good stuff. It's hilarious. I love it. Don't know about you guys. I think it's great. Yeah. They absolutely got spanked about. Absolutely got spanked about. It was absolutely lovely to see as well. Absolutely lovely to see. Brighton looked fantastic yet again. Got to give it up to Brighton and Potter. You really do. You really do. You really do, because Man United, you know, they're at home, first game of the season. Graham Potter's like, nah. I'll come with the same sauce I've been coming with. Yeah, we lost Cucurella. Yes, we lost Bazuma. But I'm still coached these players to the best I can. And, yeah. Oh. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. They're terrible. Absolutely terrible. And now they're trying to get so Man United are now working on getting Adrian Rabiot, a deal that no team in Europe wanted. No one wants this kid. No one wants Rabiot. No one wants him. Absolutely no one wants him. No one wants him at all. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's hilarious. I literally think it might be the funniest thing ever. They have gone from De Jong to Adrian Rabiot, a player nobody wants. And also, apparently, they bid 8 million for Marko Arnautovic. What is going on? Man United are dead. They might be dead as a football club. They might be finished as a football club. It's probably over. And they are going to be what? If Man United finish 10th, they've had a good season, in my opinion. Their squad's terrible. You know, you're playing McFred in midfield still. You're still playing Harry Maguire. Christian Eriksen played. Christian Eriksen played as a false 9. I mean, what is going on? What is going on? It's absolute madness. It's absolute madness. It makes no sense what Man United are doing at all, guys. At all. Sorry, I just got a message of someone being really rude to me in my DMs in my Twitter. Obviously, don't like the way I talk, and they're having a go at me in my DMs. That's nice of them, ain't it? I'm just putting them straight. Just putting them straight right now. Absolute idiots. Absolute idiots. Yeah, but Man United are dead, and it's hilarious. It's the funniest thing ever, guys. Let me know in the chat what you think. I thought Brighton looked fantastic. I thought Brighton's football was fantastic as well. Brighton looked absolutely great, didn't they? Absolutely great. Their ability on the ball is excellent. They pass it around beautifully. Their weight of pass, their positioning. You know, what Potter does at Brighton is so good. I've said it already this season. I think Graham Potter should replace. I think Graham Potter should replace Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. I'm going big. I want Graham Potter as the next Liverpool manager after Jurgen Klopp. I'm saying it now. Man United. It's all coming down on Man United. Alan Rabiot signing. Alan Rabiot signing for Man United. You know, Arnautovic signing for Man United. McFred still in with the midfield. It's all going down for Man United. It's all going Pete Tong for Man United so far, ain't it? Harry Maguire still playing for Man United. Gee, it's all going wrong. It's all going wrong for Manchester United in a big way. But yeah, I'm here for it. Brighton were fantastic, deserved their win. Brighton looked really good. Really good. I really enjoyed how they played. I think Brighton are a very good team. Very hard team to play against. But yeah, they're at home and they got they got battered. It was hilarious. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Nunes is going to be different, man. Nunes is going to be different for Liverpool. It really is. Let me get some of you, catch up with these chats. There you go. My wife's in the chat as well. My wife's in chat. Everyone say hi to Lauren. According to Neil Jones, Simicast is back in trading next week. Jota will be back within the month. And Thiago scan shows he may only be out for a few weeks. Ramsey also meant to be back soon. There you go. It's not the end of the world then, is it? It's not the end of the world. Big up, Lauren. Thank you to the wife. Hope you're doing good. How many goals do you predict Jota to score? As soon as Jota's back from injury, between 15 and 20. My opinion. But that's just his position in place number 10 for which is Fulham. 6 points for our next two, extremely important. Yeah, especially when you look at the fixtures. Especially when you look at the fixtures, guys. The fixtures. Let me get Liverpool's fixtures up. But yeah, Man United are absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. So at least we still had that going for us this weekend. At least we still had that going for us. It could have been worse. Right, let me get the fixtures up. Right, these are the next set of fixtures, guys. I'm going to share it on the screen with you right now. Let me know what you think on this. We'll talk about these fixtures. There we go. There we go, guys. There we go. So I'll go big screen. There you go. So there's the fixtures there, guys. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking there? So our next game is obviously next Monday. We've got Palace at home. Then the following Monday, we've got Man United away. Then we've got Bournemouth at home. Newcastle at home. Then we're away to Everton. Then we've got Wolves at home. Then we're away to Chelsea. Then at home to Brighton. Away to Arsenal. Home to Man City. So between Crystal Palace and I'd say the Wolves game, in my opinion, we should win every single match. We should win every single match. I don't know what you guys agree with. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 6 wins out of 6. We should be beating Palace at home. We should be beating United. We should beat Bournemouth at home. We should beat Newcastle at home. Everton, it's a Merseyside derby. You never know, but we should beat Everton, especially the state they're in right now. And we should beat Wolves at home, guys. And then we got the hard, that hard 4 games. Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal and City. So let me know in the fixtures what you think, guys. I think we should be winning our next 6 games. And there's no reason why we shouldn't either. No reason why we shouldn't. Big up Stubbsy. Hope you're doing well, my man. Hope you're doing well. Afternoon, guys. Afternoon. Narita, how you doing? Jamie, it was my birthday weekend. Unfortunately, lads won't give me 3 points, but we go again. Big belated happy birthday to you, my friend. Big belated happy birthday to you. Yeah, smash the likes, guys. Subscribe if you're not subscribed as well. We had a chance to replace with Bobby and get a right winger in one day. Dybala was that guy. I'm not the biggest Dybala fan in the world, Pablo. I've got to admit, I am not the biggest Dybala fan in the world. But yeah, we do need someone. Sub Jamie to all the Liverpool crew in the chat for more quality content. Big up Ravi. Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Looking forward to having you on tonight, Jamie Lag. Of course, my man. Be there at 9 o'clock on Stubbsy's show, guys. So make sure you tune in. You've got to be there. You've got to be there at 9 o'clock. Everyone saying hello to the missus. Big up, guys. Big up to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Big up to the wife. Jamie, you going to go in the games this season? I'm not sure yet, mate, because I've got my daughter's surgery coming up next Monday, so I'm not sure yet. Miss Phillips on work. Big up, Lauren. There you go. All love to the wife. All love to the wife. Lauren taking the next show. Jamie, you're on the subs bench, mate. Yeah. She'll do a job as well. And if you don't know as well, the wife is on top of the league on Savage Talk Football's Fantasy Football League. If you're on Savage Talks Football's Fantasy Football League, the wife is actually top at the moment on 83 points. And I'm second on 73. Phillips family takeover, you know what I mean? Phillips family takeover in the Fantasy Football League at the moment. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. 18 points, Jay. I agree. Yeah, that 4 games is mad. that 4 games in a row is madness. Absolute madness. Even West Ham on the 5th game, but that's at home. I fancy us against West Ham. But then 4 games is a madness, ain't it? Away to Chelsea, at home to Brighton, be a hard game. Away to Arsenal and home to City. That'll be interesting. But we need to definitely win the next 6 ones. There you go. The wife's saying hello to everyone. I reckon we might put a victory against Arsenal and Chelsea. To be fair, we always usually do Chelsea, Arsenal anyway, don't we? So that usually ain't a problem. That's usually not the problem. But we see how they go this season. You never know, do you? Never know how they're going this season. Big up to everyone in the chat. 189 in the chat right now. 87 likes, guys. Let's try and get these likes up to 100. So hit that fun button, guys. Let's try and get these likes up to 100 if possible. Let's try and get these likes up to 100 if possible. My layout keeps going off. So, guys, try and get the likes up to 187 right now. So, everyone, if you've not hit that fun button right yet, hit that fun button right now, guys, if you've not hit it just yet. So, that fun button right underneath my video, right there, underneath, guys, underneath there. Go and press on that fun button, get the likes right up. Try and get to 100 likes. 196 people watching right now. So, go and press that fun button underneath the video right now. If you've not pressed it already, guys, I'd appreciate it. Jota will score against Arsenal, always does. That's 4 in a row. Liverpool win them all. Big up, Eric. Yeah, I see us winning all in games. I really do. I see us winning all in games. Champions League falls into it in September. Yep. And remember, the Champions League is going to be very quick this summer as well. So I think the group games all finish in 6 weeks. They go congest the group games down to 6 weeks instead of 9 or something like that. So the group games are going to be very quick. I think they're all going to be like a week apart. 18 points. Yeah, it's ridiculous, ain't it? It is ridiculous. Chelsea will have a hard time this week. Yeah, remember, we've got some good games coming up this weekend as well. So obviously, Tottenham Chelsea this weekend. Going to be a banger. It's going to be some decent games. What's this? Donny Van Dijk. Liverpool Echo, right? Charlotte Coates has just tweeted confirmed. Confirmed Jordan Henderson to Liverpool. You never walk alone. Interesting. Keep an eye out for that one, guys. Keep an eye out for that one. If anything happens, we'll be straight back. Don't worry about that. I'm thinking we might do a bit of business. I'm thinking we might just do a bit of business still. Be interesting to see, guys. It'd be interesting to see. So, yeah, the big games this weekend. Obviously, Man City beat West Ham 2-0. Quite a comfortable game for Man City. Haaland getting both goals. And, yeah, looking decent. I go on holiday, dive to Palace. Big up, Ant. Yeah, man, got to give it a Haaland. Haaland looked very good against West Ham. But my God, was it the most boring game of the season? Was that the most boringest game so far this weekend? Thank you very much, Wolf. I appreciate it. That was the most boring game I've seen in a long time. Now, Man City, what everyone in the chat, what are your opinions on Man City's football? Now, obviously, Man City play winning football. They win the titles, they win everything. They win a winning title game, yeah? But on the eye, what does everyone actually think of Man City's football? Because I find it boring. I really do. I find Man City's football really boring to watch. I mean, the passing for passing's sake, they one to each other when they're 5 yards apart 7 times. They pass it in the box 27 times before they cross it. Does anyone find Man City's type of football boring? Let me know in the chat. I'm with Code on Command here. I'm with Code on Command. It's boring but effective. Exactly. It's boring but effective. And that is probably the best way to sum up Manchester City's kind of football. It's if that's true, everyone needs to get off Klopp's back. Get off Klopp's FSG's back. Everything hope so. Yep. Someone on my Twitter said we need to move Klopp on as we can't pass up a chance to get Poch. I just blocked them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some weirdos in this world, Gunben. There's some weirdos in this world. Let's be honest, Arsenal lucky, Man City lucky. First 10 minutes it just started. Yeah, I mean, City are a boring team to watch, let's face it. They are boring, but they are effective, and they got their 2-0 win. Haaland getting both goals. Looking decent. Obviously, we laughed at Man United losing. Fortunately, people laughed at us drawing. It is what it is. Tottenham winning 4-1, looking very good. Kulusevski looking very, very, very good for Tottenham yesterday on Saturday. Son and Kane not in much, but it was the Kulusevski show. A diamond of a footballer they got there. The Ginger Ninja. Very, very good player. Very good play. Southampton did take the lead in that game, and Southampton did look actually quite decent in that game, to be fair. They looked quite decent in that game, Southampton, taking the lead, and couldn't keep hold of their lead, obviously. And Tottenham go on to win 4-1. But, yeah, Tottenham looked decent under Conte. City play boring, that's why opponent sleeps too. Yeah, exactly. Look at City's next game straight. Yeah, I'll get City's fixtures up before we leave. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Right. Jesus. Bloody hell. Yeah. City are going to be top of the table by some points. Jesus Christ. Their fixtures. So let me get there. Oh, there we go. Can't see me, but I'm here. Let me just get rid of that, guys, so you can see. There you go. So there's their fixtures, guys. So their next game is Bournemouth at home. They got Bournemouth at home next. So that's a 9-0 game. Then they're away to Newcastle on the 21st of August. That might be a difficult game. You know, Newcastle. That might be a difficult game for them. Then they got a game against Barcelona. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if anyone knows in the chat. I don't know what the Barcelona game's about. And then they got Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace always play well against Man City. No, that's a bit of their bogey team. So, and then they go smash Forest up. Villa, you never know. Could be a difficult game. And then they got Tottenham, then they got Wolves, then they got Man United, then they got Southampton, another one of their bogey teams. Then they got Liverpool, then they got Arsenal. So if you really look at it, Tottenham, Wolves away won't be an easy game. Tottenham at home won't be an easy game. Then they got the Manchester derby. You never really know about Manchester derbies. Southampton's their bogey team. Then they got Then they got Liverpool. Then they got Arsenal. Then they got Brighton. Then they got Leicester. It's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying. You know, they're not the easiest of fixtures. That Newcastle away, by the way, isn't an easy fixture. You know, playing Newcastle away, that ain't an easy fixture. Not at all. Crystal Palace are a bit of their bogey team. Remember, Crystal Palace are a bit of their bogey team. So, it's not an easy one for them. I don't know what to think about it. There's some difficult fixtures in there in their opening few games. Yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's interesting, ain't it? It's interesting. Big up gang and how you doing, mate? Liverpool will be too much of a step for Potter, Jamie. It'll be great at Tottenham. I like a handsy flick. Yeah, good point. Good point. We should sign Vitinha for 40 million. Yeah, I've seen bits of him. We need to move on. FSG 12 years of one trip pony investment has held us backwards. Remove SG and we rebuild. Don't know. Don't know about that. Brighton toyed with United. It's a whole new level. Yeah, but they will give them a good game. It's so annoying why don't teams just have a go at City. Yeah, I know, it does my fucking head in. Oh, they just sit back, take it up the arse and just love it, don't they? It does my head in. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Guys, for today. We had a good chat there about Liverpool. I wanted to get a lot of stuff off my chest. We had a good talk about Fabinho and the Henderson situation, Jurgen Klopp, the midfield situation. I've got more of this coming tomorrow. I'm sick and tired of talking about the midfield, but I've got a whole video tomorrow that is basically going to talk about the whole midfield, guys. So we're going to wrap it up now. Tomorrow is going to be the last video I do on this midfield dilemma. This is the last one. So tomorrow's video, guys, is purely going to be based on Liverpool's midfield. And that is it. After I've done that video tomorrow, guys, I am not going to do videos about Liverpool's midfield again this season. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. So from tomorrow's video, we're going to go in depth on our midfield, guys. We're going to go in depth on it. We're going to go player for player. We're going to look at all the players available to us in this midfield. We're going to go in depth at it a bit, go and look at it. We're going to chop it all up. And I want you guys involved in that video as well in the chat, helping me along. So, guys, make sure you're in tomorrow. Same time, same place, same channel. Make sure you're here tomorrow, guys. And, yeah, it should be a good one. So, till then, have a good rest of your day, guys. Enjoy today. And, guys, if you're watching this on a replay, don't forget to smash the like button. Smash that like button. And if you've not hit the like button yet, guys, everyone in the chat, please hit that fun button on your way out. I would appreciate it. Guys, you've been great as always. I will catch you